Hi, in my last video I gave you the 60s peace sign to start us off, but this time I'm giving you a high five. That's my electronic high five. My name is Brian Whittingham and I'm Renfrewshire's Tannahill Makar, and this is my second Tannahill tutorial exploring a path into creative writing. I'm using the cluster, sketch and write method, and in the previous video we discussed clustering and we ended up with this cluster. In this video I'm going to show you how to take that a stage further and look at sketching your memory and using your imagination. Doesn't matter how good you are at drawing, doesn't matter a jot. What we're looking at here is exploring our mind again. Students always get results with this method, so I encourage you to give it a go. So, as I say in the best programs, I've got one I prepared earlier here, and this is a sketch of this cluster. Now this is a cluster we done at the end of the last session, and it shows you the subject, which was a walk beside the River Cart to the River Clyde, and the various elements that I had jotted down that came to my mind and the thought bubbles round about the central cluster. So if I take you into the actual sketch, what I've got here is, this is in Renfrewshire, in Renfrew, and this is in Shinnon Road that comes along here. You notice my high-tech pointer, which is actually a shoehorn. We're having to improvise in these days of self-isolation. So this is a roundabout here, and up here used to be the old B&Q and Comet and stuff like that. But if you go along in Shinnon Road, this is a bridge that goes over the White Cart. This is the White Cart water here, and the River Clyde across the road. Across from the river is John Brown Shipyard, where John Brown Shipyard used to be. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to do a pictorial representation of your memory. This is what you're doing. So as things come to your mind, you start to draw them, and you can take into account all sorts of things. If you want to put people into your picture, they're matchstick people. I've showed myself here with my son and my daughter, Craig and Debbie, and we're walking down beside the river. It doesn't matter when. I've done this walk on numerous occasions, so when I'm writing about it, I sometimes transpose certain events on top of other events, as artists normally do with paintings or writing or whatever. So that's fair enough. This is the Normandy Hotel here. This is a golf range. It used to be a golf range, it's now defunct. This is the Normandy Golf Course, just the Renfrew Golf Club, I think it is. And this is the lighthouse. If you walk away down beside the river, you can walk along, you come to a small lighthouse. Again, I think it's not used, it's not in use anymore. But then you can walk right along, and if you walk right along that path, you'd eventually come to where the Renfrew ferry was. And then you could hang a right and go back into Renfrew. Quite a long walk, but a lovely part of the countryside. So the things I've put down there, there used to be a scrappies there for cars. If you had a problem with your car and you need a spare part, sometimes you go down to Scrappy and get a spare part from them, windscreen wipers or whatever. Now the other thing you can do in this is you can put in sounds, you can put all sorts of things in. I've got the swish of the wind here, I've got the squawking of the birds that are flying about. I've got up here, I've got the planes, because this is a flight path going into Glasgow Airport. So I've got the planes, I've got the drone of the planes, I've got a wee pilot, he's looking out the plane to make sure everyone's okay for landing. You use your imagination, do a wee bit like a cartoon, some of the figures that you put in. This is where the ships will get launched here in John Brown, and in John Brown you've got the Titan crane at this point. I've not put any details in there of the shipyard, which I could do because I used to work in there many moons ago. However, this is just to give you an idea of what you're doing when you're sketching. Now, don't worry how long this is going to take you. It could take you quite a while, perhaps, if you're quite a methodical type of person, or if you're not 100% confident with your drawing. Doesn't matter. All you're doing is sketching something down, as if you're in an airplane yourself and you're looking down on the scene. This is what you're doing. You're imagining you're looking down, and this is as if you're looking at road maps, as if you're the eye for sat nav, and you're looking down to see where things are. But you're not only looking at the geography of places and the placement of places. You're looking at events and how you imagine them. And if anything comes into your mind, a snatch of speech, you just write it down on this. So it's not just pictorial representation, it's text that represents anything. Anything. You could even have a thought in your head that's got absolutely nothing to do directly with what's happening here. So just jot that down. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want. But this is sketching. So once you've finished it, what you've then got is hopefully a visual stimulus for what you're subsequently going to write. So you've got a visual stimulus and you've got your cluster. So these two things you've now got side by side. And at this point, hopefully you're starting to get right into the event that you're going to be writing about. You've got a lot of raw material that you can jot down and latterly hone it to a finished article. So that's sketching. Pretty simple, but it's enjoyable as well. If you want, you can colour it in, you can do all sorts of things, or make it into a work of art, or not, just have it as a stimulus. Some people will ignore this step and they would just use the clustering. I would suggest that you're missing out if you ignore this step, because the visual stimulus can be very important for jogging your memory into action. It can be very important for your perception of sensory images, which is one of the crucial things in writing. If you can pick up on sounds, smells, tastes, visual images, and you can translate that into any good writers you read, any of the great writers, they will have done that automatically within their writing, and this is what you should be aiming for. So that's sketching. So the next stage is going on to writing. How might you write about your event? How might you write about your original subject? What was coasts and waters? And we'll discuss that in video 3. So I hope you found that of interest and of benefit and all that malarkey. So toodle pip and take care.